every 20 minutes. It's your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network, and this is your morning forecast update for the state of Alabama. And looking at our Skywatcher pictures, got some pretty ones from yesterday and today. This was from Brian Parton in Lincoln. This was some fog yesterday morning with the sunrise here. And looking at Justin Gentry's picture from Lay Lake, this was yesterday afternoon. Beautiful picture there over the lake, the blue skies and scattered clouds around, another calm day. And this was sunset up in Owens Crossroads from Daniel Harbor. And again, this was yesterday. Some beautiful sun rays there coming through the clouds in that part of the state. And then this was from this morning. Kyle Stripling in Vernon up in Lamar County sent this picture of the sunrise from this morning. So just a beautiful view there up in the kind of northwestern part of the state as well. Looking at our satellite and radar, so we actually had a little bit of activity, or a good bit of activity earlier this morning in the northwestern corner of the state. Had a good bit of rainfall that fell down there. You can see at this point that has kind of fallen apart and moved out of the state. So there's a few showers on the other side of the state line right now in Mississippi, but nothing really in Alabama at this point outside of some leftover clouds here. You can see the rest of the state is bathed with sunshine, as we've seen a lot here lately. As far as rain totals that fell during that time period, these are estimates here, but you've got potentially 2.5 to 3 inches of rain that fell in some spots over the last, this is 12 hours, but this was even less than 12 hours ago. But you can see here that there was a pretty widespread area there in parts of western Lauderdale and up into parts of western Colbert County, and even the kind of the northwestern corner of Franklin County that saw a good bit of rain. Most of it did stay to the west of places like Florence and Muscle Shoals and also Russellville. You can see places like Waterloo, Cherokee, and other places nearby in that part of the state got quite a bit of rain. So, hey, it's not bad to take that rain considering how dry that we've been here lately, but that was the only place in the state that saw anything here recently of that magnitude. Now, looking at Florence now, looking back towards the west, and you can see some leftover clouds here, but again, you don't really see any rain off the distance, just some stratus clouds. It's 75 degrees there in Florence, and the dew point is in the mid-60s. Nearby in Russellville, again, looking off in the same direction, maybe you might be able to see some of those showers in the distance that are over on the other side of the state line. It's 77 degrees there, the dew point. Again, a little bit elevated from what it has been recently, up to 64 degrees with some of that moisture that was producing rain nearby. Further down towards the south, the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, you can see temperatures 87 degrees already with the dew point of 60. And this is again pointed off towards Mississippi, towards the west. You can see downtown Tuscaloosa here. And so you can see some of those clouds off the distance, but right overhead, there's blue skies over campus there. And further towards the south, Montgomery, blue skies there. Hard to find too many clouds across here in this part of the state. Looking over the Crampton Bowl, it's 83 degrees already. And dew point again, eastern side of the state, generally lower dew points here recently. We're only in the upper 50s. Spanish Fort, beautiful view looking towards the bay and over across towards downtown Mobile. It's 85 degrees already. And as far as the beach is concerned, looking at our Gulf Shores camera, beautiful shot here to start off today. It's 84 degrees, but again, the dew point's not too bad. Feels pretty comfortable at 63 degrees, a little bit of a breeze at the east-southeast at 5 miles per hour. So what we're watching for today and this week, so storms will remain scarce. Can't rule out an isolated shower or storm over the next couple of days in some spots, especially in the northern and then kind of northeastern part of the state as we get an upper level low nearby. But generally, most places will stay dry. Highs will still be warm in the 90 to 93 degree range through the weekend. Morning lows still in the 60s. So hot afternoons, fairly comfortable mornings. We're continuing that trend as we have been for a while now. And as far as our lows that happened this morning, as far as the comfortable temperatures, we still see that this morning as well. We got down in the upper 50s in a couple of spots. Jordan Housen in Chelsea and Christopher Owens in Morris both hit 59 degrees. Don Culver in Rainbow City hit 60. Matt Nicholson in Oxford got 62. And then Mike Thomas at Lake Martin, a little bit warmer at 65 degrees. But again, fairly comfortable morning temperatures continue to be the theme as we move through time. As far as temperatures right now, we've warmed up quite a bit already into the generally the 80s, but you've got a few 70s left at 79 degrees in Gadsden. Near to where the rain fell earlier, it's still 79 in Hamilton and 75 in Florence, but we've gotten into the 80s elsewhere. It's 84 degrees in Birmingham already, 85 already in Monroeville, and then also in Chatham, and it looks like Geneva as well. So another warm day on tap. Forecast highs, again, expected to get into the 90s in many spots, expecting around 90 degrees in Gadsden, Birmingham, Florence, Andalusia. And that'll be probably, maybe a few places getting a little bit higher than that, maybe Demopolis and Tuscaloosa getting up to 91, 92 degrees or so, but it's generally upper 80s, low 90s, kind of playing the broken record as we have been here lately. Water vapor imagery here kind of shows a somewhat complex pattern that we're in. We're kind of sandwiched in between a couple different things going on here. So you've got a surface low here off the coast producing a good bit of rain. It's going to be moving up the coast and providing some rainfall along the east coast. But you can actually see right here, we've got, this is more of the upper level or mid-level circulation, an upper level low here. And as this continues to spin around, there could be a few little disturbances that move into the eastern part of the state over the next couple of days that might kick off a couple of showers, especially in the higher terrain here. And then off to the west, this sort of vertical area here was a backdoor cold front from yesterday that helped to kick off those storms that ended up coming through the northwestern corner this morning. And so again, we're not as in a dry air mass as we have been in the last week or so. So that's part of the reason we do expect to have a few scattered showers possible, especially in the northern part of the state. All right, so as we take a look at our future cast here, again, we'll take a stop here this evening, and it does show a few scattered showers in the northern part of the state. Again, you can see the vast majority of the area is still dry, and these don't look too significant. It looks like heavier thunderstorms possible in parts of maybe northern Mississippi and West Tennessee, but we're still expecting, if anything, just a shower or two, nothing as heavy as what we saw this morning in the northwestern part of the state. And then as we move into tomorrow afternoon, a similar idea where again, we could see a few scattered showers in spots. Most places across the state staying warm and dry with just some scattered clouds around. So again, that's going to be the main thing. And we don't expect significant rainfall. Again, this morning was kind of an aberration, but generally not expecting significant rainfall here through the next few days and really for this week. Here's our latest look at the tropics. We've got that 8% chance of development from this red region here, and this is that wave here, 92L, that is moving into this region over the next week. Good thing about this is that everything seems to be pointing towards this eventually curving off. If it becomes depression, if it becomes a hurricane eventually, which it could at this point, it looks like it should begin to recurve and not affect land, is what we're currently expecting. And again, back to the west, you don't see anything happening. Very calm over both the Caribbean and the Gulf. So again, don't expect any issues here in Alabama anytime soon. Temperature outlook, we don't look to see any change in the temperatures really much as we get into next week. This is looking at next week and still expecting to be a little bit warmer than normal. So we're not seeing a big fall return or a kind of first taste of fall as we get into the official start of fall later on this week. So don't expect that anytime real soon. All right, your 7-day forecast for North Alabama. Again, we've got just a small chance of a couple of showers. Might see a rumble of thunder in a couple of spots, but generally expect most places will stay dry. We'll see highs in the upper 80s. Still trending drier as we get in the middle part of the week. We have that upper level low will kind of move away, so see less chance of any sort of showers later into the week. As we get in the weekend, though, we will have a front approaching the northern part of the state, so we expect to see a little bit of an elevation of rain chances as we head into this coming weekend into next week. Again, not looking at significant rainfall at this point, but maybe a few more scattered showers and a few storms around. But again, the mornings look comfortable. And then down towards the south, just got a very small, barely worth mentioning rain chance that you see here for these 10% chances, not showing any rain in the icons or anything like that, because really outside of maybe a stray shower or two, don't expect the southern part of the state to get much at all this week. Again, highs in the upper 80s, low 90s, lows still going to be pretty comfortable out there. And we won't see as much influence from that front that we're seeing in the northern part of the state as we get into the weekend. So still staying pretty dry for South Alabama. That is your Alabama forecast update for now. We'll have another one coming up this afternoon on the Alabama Weather Network.